Hey, gun people. Man, when I first saw this video, I was like, lackluster, put it up. And he's got it pretty good. Luckily, I'm glad he put the regular footage without. I was trying to watch his video, but he's just got so many damn pop-ups of subscribe and thank and thumbs up. And it's just, I mean, he puts pretty good videos out, but it's kind of irritating watching that. So I looked everywhere for the body footage and went down here and noticed he had uploaded it. So if you want to watch the full footage, he's got the links here. I Googled it and tried to search it, and I couldn't find it, but he put the link, so I appreciate that. So when I first saw this, I was kind of like, man, what kind of cop would do this? And then after I watched her interview where she's like, I'm gay and I look like a boy, I mean, this woman's just going for every protection there is. I'm a disabilities, I'm gay, I got that, I'm black, I'm worried about George Floyd. So she loses a lot of credibility in her victimhood status. And she's got a lot of, I think I finally figured out her tattoos on here. I was trying to read what they were. It says stay true is what the tattoos on her fingers are. S-T-A-Y-T-R-U-E. And she's got tattoos on her neck. Both arms. I'm not sure what this woman does for a living. She's deaf. She doesn't understand the cops. She's worried about George Floyd. She's driving a nice car. She's got 2 kids. She's got money to pay for all these freaking tattoos. I don't know what she does, but I'm guessing it's government related. So anyway, my sympathies to her, because she's kind of appears to be playing the victim card so much, has lessened, but it doesn't excuse what the cops did. So here's the news article on her.
Let's go. Let's go. You can record. I'm recording too.
This is the beginning of the live stream.
Why does she have to do it?
Dre's daughter questions the officer why her mom is being told to get out of the car.
2 little cute girls, they kind of got caught up in this. The cop was being an asshole. I don't like what the cop did. The female cop came in and helped a lot because she had a freaking brain. And the male cop was too damn busy being a freaking robot, anal-ass cop with no sensitivity whatsoever. So, but, again, this woman was not making it easy for the cop, or she was making it easy for the cop to be an asshole. Not that that justifies him being an asshole.
I don't know why I'm really being pulled over and he's interrogating me.
Oh my God, I'm a victim. I don't know why. I got this nice car. I got all these tats on my hands and neck. Rick Tattoo, you're a tattooism. Look, I don't care if you got tattoos. I'm telling you, with cops, when we deal with people, especially at night, and they have a bunch of tattoos on their hands, neck, face, it usually indicates they did time or they in prison. I'd like to know this woman's criminal history. I'd like to know if she has been in prison, because she's acting like, oh my God, I'm so shocked. I've never dealt with the police before. This is just so traumatic. I don't believe that. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it. My bullshit sensor, hey.
I'm black, I'm deaf, George.
I'm black, I'm deaf, I'm gay. You know, now look, wearing a mask when you're trying to communicate so deaf people can't read your lips is a problem. I get it. This was a difficult situation. The cops didn't do a great job, and she didn't do a great job. And the kids end up having to pay, which is the real tragedy here.
Floyd just happened.
Ow, ow, come on.
The police officer pulled my arm. Yes. Yeah, he pulled my arm. And I was like, whoa, why? I have never.
Does she look scared to you right here when she pulls her mask down and
He pulled
smiles
my
into the
arm.
camera?
And I was like, whoa, why?
Does she look scared here? Is this a traumatic event that she's very fearful? She's having fun. This is funny. She's not scared. I don't buy this shit. She's so scared and traumatized. That's bullshit. When actions don't match words later, it's bullshit. I call cops out on it, and I call citizens out on it. She's full of shit, in my opinion.
Why? I have never experienced anything.
Never experienced. Really? I find that hard to believe.
Like that before in all of my life.
The officer also instructs her 11-year-old twins to get out.
Is there
I'll have
something
you
wrong?
come with me so you can talk.
Instructs her to get out so she can talk. Reasonable? Yes, I think it's reasonable.
Dre says it only got worse as she couldn't communicate with the officer.
I'm saying, look at this. Like, we need a text, we need a write. And he just kept on talking and talking and talking.
Well, that's what cops do. And with a mask on, she couldn't read his lips. So, look, I'm not saying this is a perfect situation, people. And I'm not defending the cops, and I'm not defending her. I'm actually thinking they both could have handled it better.
Have her sit down on the curb.
The officer tells the girls he is investigating their mom.
Okay.
When he has her sit down on the curb, I think it's bullshit. Her video, does he look scared or nervous here? He's kind of leaning. Yeah, have her sit down on the curb first. He's more worried about being in control and showing this woman because he probably thinks, like a lot of cops think, people are fucking with me. They're lying. They're faking it. They're hollering, I can't breathe. They're hollering, I can't resisting while they're fighting me. So cops just start tuning people out with their lies. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it should be done. I'm just giving you a reality check. Cops get tired of people lying to them, so we stop believing when somebody tells us something.
Have her sit down on the curb.
The officer tells the girls he is investigating their mom.
Okay.
Dre says she was in the area near Decatur and Ann Road to get rent money back after moving out early.
To get rent money back. So now we have a landlord-tenant dispute. These are freaking always damn buckets of cases. Everybody's got a story. It's usually a civil issue. It turns into criminal when somebody doesn't leave. They trespass, they hit, they get violent, they make threats. Then it goes into criminal and cops have to get involved. Most cops don't want to get involved in this shit. I don't want to get involved in your problems. I'd rather be out there catching real criminals, me personally. Not cops today. They'd rather be, writing grandma a ticket, for freaking stopping at the wrong place in a parking spot, at the handicap spot. She parked over the line, and they want to write grandma a ticket so they can feel good for the day. But anyway, I digress.
But the landlord called police.
She's just over here because she needs her money back from her friend.
The officer
Okay, so the little girl says she needs her money back from her friend, but the person that she was arguing with is the one that called the cops. So her friend must have called the cops on her. And her friend said, I think in a call, that she was threatening her. So this woman goes with her two kids, gets in an argument to collect money, does something to where the friend calls the cops and says she was threatened, and now she's the victim because she's black, gay, and George Floyd.
pushes her to sit down on the curb.
Sit down. Sit down. Down. Sit down.
See, he's saying sit down, and she can't read his lips. He's got a mask on. So this cop ain't the freaking shortest, sharpest tool in the shed. Okay, he doesn't get that there's a language barrier, and we have to fix the language barrier instead of jumping to respect my authority. Sit down because I told you to. I'm going to put you down. Blah, blah. The cop's a freaking idiot. I'll give you that.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Hey, I'm sorry.
As her daughters scream, she is put in handcuffs so she can no longer sign and drops her phone.
Don't.
Drops her phone. God forbid somebody has to drop their phone. Holy shit. Pretty soon they're going to make it mandatory that all cops must go through sign language and be able to read when somebody says, I can't breathe in sign language. They're handcuffing them and they're tying their hands up, and it's going to be the cop's fault that they couldn't sign, that they couldn't breathe. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's just crazy. This is a tough situation, and you can't regulate or pass laws or have government fix things like this because shit just happens.
Tell her to put her hands behind her back. Tell her to put her hands behind her back.
The screen is black as the girls continue to cry for several minutes, and then the officer says this to the 11-year-olds.
One of you guys needs to talk to center.
Okay, I don't find this that thing. I mean, look, the cop has just made error after error in freaking doing this. But I don't find this that out of control.
Requiring an 11-year-old to interpret.
Oh my God. So now we have a deaf rights lawyer who says it's against the law to use a child to interpret, which I think is total bullshit. I think the cops acted reasonably by using the kids. That was available. They wanted to do this investigation and end it. They wanted to see if there was a real crime here or not. They didn't have a hard way to communicate. They handcuffed. They have masks on. She's deaf. There is a huge breakdown of communication in this incident, and using the kids to me is 100% reasonable. They didn't force the kid at gunpoint to say what they wanted to say. They were using a kid. And now this lawyer wants to say, well, it's against the law. It specifically says you can't use kids to interpret it. Well, look, just because something's a law doesn't mean it can't happen. There's extenuating circumstances. There's exceptions to the rule. We have a Constitution, and the freaking Supreme Court is constantly making exceptions to the Constitution. So laws are there, but there can be exceptions.
in a police situation is against the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yeah, because every cop says, let me think how many times I reviewed the American Civil Liberties Act. Never. The only time I heard it is in some sort of training where they said you're required to know this, you're required to know this, you should do that. I've never read the freaking act. And this lawyer who gets paid and made a living at reading this somehow thinks that everybody should know it. He's freaking government. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. You should know that. Whatever, dude.
And there are regulations in there that expressly prohibit children from being used as an interpreter.
Guess what? I don't really care about your regulations. Regulations don't rule what I do on the streets. So somebody's gonna be, you sound like a jackboot cop. Cops cannot be experts. Lawyers aren't even experts in crime. Lawyers have specific areas that they work because the laws are so convoluted, worded by lawyers, so screwed up that lawyers can't even figure it out. We can't get 9 justices to agree most of the time on cases that they hear, and they're supposed to be the supreme freaking best black robe wearing lawyers around, and they can't agree on the law. And now everyone else is supposed to know the law, though, including cops. Really?
Interpreters.
Andrew Brzezinski is a deaf rights lawyer with one of the top firms in the country. He argues the kids were put in a position they should not have been. Many police departments have 24-hour interpreter service for multiple languages, including sign language.
Okay, so when I was working, we did have a number we could call, and it was a paid service, and it cost a lot of money, and taxpayers got no freaking clue, and I think it's a huge waste of money, and it's bullshit, and it's used maybe 3 times a year, and it costs thousands of dollars a month to have all these interpreters. We could call, if I had somebody speaking Russian and I couldn't communicate with her, I would dial this number and say, yeah, this is Detective Gore, blah, blah, blah. I'd give them my code, whatever, and say, I need an interpreter for Russian. And then they go, well, what Russian? Is it Ukraine? Is it blah, blah? And I'll be like, I don't freaking know. She's talking Russian. I think it's Russian. And, all right, well, we'll get you so-and-so. So then they contact this other person who's on the payroll, and she goes, hi, I'm so-and-so. What do we got? I said, I got a woman here. I'm trying to find out her name. I think she speaks Russian. Can you ask her if she has any ID? And they would go, blah, 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 whatever they do. And the person would sometimes produce ID, or they'd shake their head no. And I go, okay, she shook her head no. And I'd say, I'd give her a pad and pencil. I'd say, can you tell her to write her name and date of birth on my piece of paper? And then they would interpret that in Russian to her, and then she would scribble something that I couldn't read. I mean, it's something that's really great if you're sitting in a courtroom and you're making these laws and how wonderful it would be. But when you're in the field at night trying to use a flashlight, trying to figure out what's going on, and you're on an incident and you're investigating something and it's raining and the wind's blowing your paper, it just doesn't make sense. So they want evidently that this cop should have got on his phone, called a sign language, and start doing sign language, watch my phone, and use sign language with her. And then if those aren't cops who have never dealt with somebody, they always want to not answer questions and tell you all this freaking bullshit information that you don't need to get to the bottom of it so you can end this. And then it would be, my kids are with me and I'm gay and it's not fair and I'm scared. And they would be talking about everything except what I needed. And that's why interpreters rarely work. It's not a good fix. It sucks. Maybe if you came to America and you learned to speak the freaking language, it would be great. Now, granted, she's deaf. She can't learn to speak the language, but she could carry a thing that says, I'm deaf. Can you call this person? Can you use my child? She could have tried to communicate with her child more effectively and not escalate. Instead, she's worried about videotaping and smiling and setting up a lawsuit. So she doesn't get my victim sympathy that I would normally give if I think somebody's a real victim. But the cop was still an asshole.
There are services out there such as Video Relay on their iPhone or iPad.
I'm not a criminal.
I'm not a criminal. Of course you're not. And you know what? Let me think back of how many people out of the thousands of people I arrested. Hang on. I'm going to try and count how many people said they were criminals before I arrested them. None. Not freaking one. Criminals don't tell you they're criminals. They always tell you they're not a criminal. You got the wrong guy. It's not me. I'm a good guy. I can't breathe. They're always lying to you. So you tend to ignore what they say.
Dre says her daughters were traumatized.
Maybe they were traumatized because you couldn't use your damn head and calm think. Maybe you were more worried about bringing your daughter to go on a freaking collection extortion of back rent because you moved out early and violated your lease. Maybe you traumatized him. No, Rick, she's deaf, gay, and black. It can't be her fault. Oh, okay, I got it.
My kids are afraid because of all of the incidents that have been happening recently. And, you know, they're raised black in this community. So
they're raised black. Does that mean they're not black? They're raised black. I don't know what that means. They're raised black. Is there a different way to raise a black person than a regular person? What the hell does that mean?
when they see a police officer, they're also on high alert.
Now she is demanding change.
Come on.
Actually, kids didn't look like on high alert. They looked like they were pretty well balanced and good kids. And they were trying to help, and the freaking cop wouldn't shut his mouth and kept freaking interrupting them and treating the kids like they were criminals because the cop was being a dumbass.
So what happened to her will not happen to anyone else.
I really want...
Maybe it won't happen to someone else if you don't act like a damn fool in front of your kids and go on a collection run from Guido's collection service with your kids in the car.
All of Las Vegas police to change with how they learn and how they deal with deaf people, because it is really scary how deaf people are treated. If my kids weren't with me, then I would have died that day.
Oh my God, are you kidding? When I got to this part, I was like, oh my God, here we go. I was so scared. I was videotaping and smiling in the camera. And if it weren't for my kids, I would have died. Really? See, this is where she loses credibility. The cops lose credibility because they're just freaking being dumbasses and wrong. But she loses credibility. She took her kids to go collect money and got the cops called on her. That wasn't the cops' fault that she took her kids to collect money, got in an argument, and somebody called the cops on her. That was not the cops' fault. I'll give the devil their due, and the cops were wrong. The male cop, the way he handled this, was a freaking idiot, and he was wrong. But it was not his fault he got called because she took her kids to go on a collection run.
My kids saved my life.
And Fox 5 has asked North Las Vegas police about what happened here. They tell us that they have investigated the circumstances. They say that Dre initially refused to comply with a request and was briefly detained.
She was confusing. She was more worried about videotaping and talking into her phone. She wasn't trying to communicate with the officers. She wasn't talking to her kids and say, can you explain to them that I'm deaf? And can they, explain through you so they know I can't hear them? She wasn't trying to do any of that. She was too damn busy videotaping and laughing, trying to set up a lawsuit. She ain't no damn victim in my book.
Until police completed their investigation. Now, we asked for additional clarification about their policy when dealing with deaf or hard of hearing people during traffic stops or searches. They sent us their entire 198-page department policy manual and this statement. This department will make every effort to see that its employees communicate effectively with people who have identified themselves as deaf or hard of hearing. Live at the update desk tonight.
Okay, so when they sent them the complete policy, they said, hey, here's all our policies. You can read them. So whatever. The body cam footage where the cop's an asshole, I'm going to go over a little bit of it. The cop's just freaking being a dick.
I need you to come to the front of my car.
Why does she have to do it?
I'll have you come with me so you can talk.
She's worried about her phone and videotaping. She's talking to the people on the phone instead of talking to her kids who are there and trying to communicate with the cop.
Out, come on.
So the cop got fed up and go, look, I'm trying to talk to you. You want to be talking on the phone. You don't want to talk to your kids. I'm getting you out of the car. I don't know what's going on. They said you threatened them. I don't know if you have a weapon. You're sitting in a car. Something happened. I need to figure out what's going on. If you're not going to talk to me and just talk to your damn phone, I'm going to get you out of the car. So I'm a little okay with the cop here. I mean, I think he reacted a little bit quicker. He probably should have, as soon as he saw her sign in the phone, he probably looked at the kids. Do you guys, is your mom deaf? Can you talk to her and explain? He could have done that. So he's kind of being I'm a cop. I'm here. It's my rules. If you disobey me, I'll charge you with resisting and arrest you.
Come on. Let's go. Come on.
He keeps saying, come on, like she can hear. And I've dealt with maybe 2 deaf people, maybe 3 in my 30 years in law enforcement. And it wasn't that difficult. I mean, I ended up using a pen and paper, and I tried to use a little bit of sign. And I mean, I think I took signing at one point. I knew a little bit, but not enough to communicate effectively.
Okay. Have your mom sit down on the curb for me first.
Okay, so he tells the kids, have your mom sit down on the curb. I'm not sure that was necessary. She's already kind of, he's doing that as a control thing because she's talking on the phone and ignoring him, and he's got contempt of cop. This was unnecessary. She's got her kids there. She's not a danger. His stance isn't indicating she's a danger. This was a bullshit power move by the cop, in my opinion.
Have her sit down on the curb.
So the little girls are being nice. They're compliant. They're helping him, right? He could use them. That's a good thing right here. Not for this cop.
No, she just wants to know
She will
what
sit down on the curb and I'll let her know.
So, doesn't want to answer a question. She will sit down on the curb. So he's going to start having her kids order her through these kids to sit down on the curb. Not an issue. This is a non-issue that was made an issue by a freaking controlling ego cop.
I will let her know as soon as she sits down. Now, we are here because...
Now, I won and I got my way. Now I'll tell you what you want to know. But you better believe I'm in charge. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. I'm going to protect and serve the shit out of you.
a friend of hers saying that she's out here stalking and harassing.
So the call was stalking and harassing. Probably pissed off about the money, wanting her money back, calling her saying, I want my money, driving by the house, I see you're inside, doing shit like that. Her fault. She brought the kids and did that shit.
I don't know what the truth is, but have her sit down. Stalking and harassing.
Here's where the cop really pisses me off. This little girl was going to explain to him what was going on. She's not stacking in her Rossi. She's trying to get her money. He could have let the little girl explain, and instead he's being such an arrogant, ego, dipshit cop. He cuts her off because he has to be in charge. This cop probably should be written up and probably get days on the beach for being a dumbass. I'm not sure he should get fired, but he ought to get a couple days on the beach and saying, you know what? You need to get off your damn high horse, quit polishing your badge and bullets every freaking night, thinking you're somebody special, and take a damn minute and listen and put yourself and show some empathy for these kids and this deaf person. That's where the cop lost me, and that's why this is going on, earning the hate.
I don't know what the truth is, but have her...
Well, you might have learned the truth if you let them talk. If you keep talking, you're not going to learn anything except what an arrogant idiot you are.
Sit down. Have her sit down. Have her... Okay, that's fine, but I need you to sit down. Sit down. Sit down, or I will sit you down. Sit down.
So now we have to go hands-on, or I will sit you down. Remember, he has a mask on. He's talking. She's not hearing anything. He's, in her mind, she's standing there trying to talk to her kids, and a cop comes over and grabs her, or him, whatever she identifies as. I don't know. But that's another breakdown where this brain-dead cop wants to be an idiot ego.
Don't do that stuff. Okay?
She's kind of too insecure.
It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter to me. See, he's talking like he's talking to her, and the kids are the only one that can hear him. To her, she can't see his lips moving, and she doesn't hear anything. This cop's a dumbass. I'm sorry. Rick, you just hate cops, and you're making it worse, and that's why cops are in danger because of your video. Shut up, you freaking crybabies coming here trying to blame me for dumbass cops' actions.
What I need to know is I'm investigating something. I just need to be safe. That's all there is to it.
Gotta be safe. I gotta be safe. I don't care if I kill everybody in the process. I gotta be safe. Officer safety. Government safety. You pesky citizens are on the low end of the safety pole. You guys are expendable. Not us officers. We're government. We're good. We're heroes. We are the blue line. This is why cops earn the hate.
Okay?
She's just over here because she needs her money back from her friend.
That's what I'm trying to find out. But you see how we need to get there.
See, he's being rude to these kids, and it's just irritating me. I'm telling you, you guys think that I'm just talking shit. If I pulled up on this scene and saw a cop treating these kids the way, I go, dude, you need to chill the fuck out and quit talking to these kids this way. If you can't talk to them any better, I'll talk to them. Hey, man, this is my call. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to stand here and let you be a damn idiot to these kids. And I've done it before, and I wasn't that popular as a cop, believe it or not. Cops didn't think, oh, great, Rick's here. Good cops like that, because they know I'd get down to business, we'd work, and we'd do good case, and I'd help them out, and we'd get shit done. But cops who were across the line are freaking dumbasses like this, they didn't like me. because I didn't play this bullshit. I called it like I saw it. And that doesn't make you popular, just like it doesn't make me popular on YouTube.
Don't be getting away. What is she doing?
She's just not doing anything.
Okay, well, she's not following directions is what's not happening.
She's not following that. Maybe she can't freaking hear you and she doesn't know you're giving her directions. You freaking dumbass. You're too busy shutting up the kids and talking down to them to let them try to communicate for you because you think you're so freaking special and good. What an idiot.
It's very simple. Does she have ID? I need ID.
ID?
Yes, ID.
Very simple. Does she have ID? Did you try running the car and see who the registered owner was? Because you got a plate there. Does cops not know how to do an investigation in the minor, smallest term? I've got your freaking car. You're driving it. I can run you. It may even say flagged. Be advised, the driver is deaf. The driver is hearing impaired. Well, I mean, it may even give you a flag to give you more information. You're too damn busy telling her to follow your orders and respect your authority.
Yeah, in the car.
Okay. So, no, sit.
Does she have ID? Maybe her kids know her name. Maybe her kids know her name and date of birth. Maybe you don't have to be such an ass and make her give you the ID. If you're really concerned about just finding out who she is, maybe your dumb ass could ask the kids who their mom is. Holy shit, Rick. That's brilliant. Most cops would never think of that. Well, that's freaking the problem.
Go get it.
No.
That's fine. Okay, we'll get that later. Sit down. Down. Sit down.
Sit down. He's got a mask on. She's hearing nothing and seeing nothing. All she knows is he reaches over and grabs her and pushes her down. This cop's an idiot.
Your hands on your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back. Hey, dude, at what point are you going to figure out she's deaf? I mean, if there's any training that needs to be, this cop needs to learn how to figure out when somebody can't hear. And when they can't hear, if I tell her to put her hands behind her back, get on the ground, and I give her orders, she's not going to comply because she can't hear. What a freaking idiot.
Don't. Tell her to put her hands behind her back. Tell her to put her hands behind her back. Stop.
Now, is this partly her fault? Yeah, it is. But I always hold government to a higher standard than the pesky citizens. So the pesky citizens could have done better and maybe should have done better, but the cop should be required and held accountable to do better. So for those that come here to say I'm hating on the blue, bullshit. He's got training. He's supposed to be out there. He's carrying a damn gun. He can escalate things to when they don't need to be escalated, or he can de-escalate them. And he's escalating it. That's why I put more fault on him.
Back up.
Hey, relax. Relax. Sit in the car.
If the kids weren't scared of cops before, guess what? This freaking idiot just made these cops growing up for the rest of their lives on how cops treated their mom. What a freaking dumbass. This is earning the hate. This is why you cops who are protecting this bullshit and want to come here and crack on me and say, man, you must have been a shitty cop. These cops have a hard job. You probably didn't do anything. You don't know what you're talking. I'm telling you, it's thunder outside if you're hearing that. I don't know if y'all are hearing it. But anyway, this cop's a dumbass. You want to go watch this video? You can. There's a female cop that shows up. Let me see if it shows that.
Can you guys calm? What's wrong? Come on
Settle
over there,
down.
okay?
Stop it. Listen.
Man, you got to be some kind of an asshole to escalate this in front of two little girls. I mean, I don't even know this cop, and I kind of want to knock him in the freaking face because he's a punk. I mean, really, dude? You got nothing else better to do than throwing around a woman in front of her kids? And granted, she looks like a guy. She may be identified. Whatever. I mean, she wasn't a threat. At no point did this guy seem in fear of his life. He just seemed ego, contempt of cop shit.
One of you guys needs to talk some sense into her. Okay, so somebody needs to calm down so they can talk.
So now he's going to start yelling at the kids. Someone needs to calm down. They're 11 years old. They're 11 years old and he's yelling, you need to calm down, after he throws their mom to the ground. I mean, oh, shit, this guy just irritates the shit out of me.
Listen to me.
You want to calm down, okay?
The woman comes in here and does a good job. She starts talking to the kids like they're kids. She tries to make them reasonable, and she tries to intervene, and she tries to interrupt the dumbass male ego macho meathead cop, and she helps the situation. Good for her.
Somebody needs
You
to
want
calm
to take
down.
a deep breath.
Please, Bryce.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, can you talk to me? Can you talk to me? Can you calm down? But I can't understand if there's a lot of yelling, okay? What is your name?
My name is Ashley.
Ashley. Okay. Can you talk to me now?
Yeah. But
Okay.
then she didn't even do anything. All she did was come here just to get her money back from her friend.
Okay, what are you guys doing here?
We're just waiting for her friend to come back. But
Where's the friend at?
she lives in one of these houses.
Do you know which house it is?
See the female cop? She's doing an investigation. She's asking questions that elicit information. She's trying to figure out what's going on. What did the male cop do? Sit down. Don't backtalk me. Give me your arm. Freaking just an idiot. Earning the freaking hate with a gold star. Good job, officer idiot. All right, y'all want to go watch the videos, you can. Like I said, Lackluster has the videos of the cams. We'll end that there.